have noticed that each day seems like it's taken a little bit longer to get warm in the morning or even sometimes the afternoon. Starting to get a little more nervous, and I have noticed that the daytime temperatures seem to be dropping slowly. It is kind of, you know, like a little warning, I think, like, you better hurry up. I'm being sweet to you right now, but I could change my mind anytime because I'm bipolar Mother Nature. Perk, I need you to learn to play the Canadian national anthem.
What do I? You ask me? It's like asking me to burn my passport. Are you kidding me?
Well, it's fall. Look at the bushes.
Yep.
Private property. Look what happened to the last guy. Are you actually gonna eat it? No, why?
It's about a day and a half old.
Oh my gosh. He literally just found that right there. Jeff, who is a trail angel from the PCT, and he lives in Bend, Oregon. Perk and I and Milestone stayed with him last year during our THRU-HIKE, and he helped us out tremendously with getting around fire closures and such as that. And he had said that he's always wanted to do a section on the CDT, so he decided to come visit a friend in Montana and meet me and Perk out here near Helena. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. So I had my mom send out my leggings that I wore to sleep in on the PCT and the long sleeve top that I started this trail with as my pajama top. So I'll end up, you know, designating one set, probably the pajamas I'm wearing now, as like my hiking base layers, since it's getting colder and snowy and rainy as we move north. And the other set will be, you know, strictly for sleeping. That way I won't be freezing my booty off while I'm hiking, and you know, I won't risk getting my pajamas wet, so I'll be freezing my booty off while I'm sleeping. Well, there's nothing like a dead tree branch falling on your head warning while you're not hiking. Radio kill the radio star. We found some debris here and made this fire ring nicer. And now we're making some benches. And the man that lives right near here said folks camp here a lot. And now we're making it nicer for them. It's a beautiful day on the Continental Divide Trail. A nice, well, decently graded road, and you know, clouds aren't bad as long as they don't start leaking. Just walking down the road, and Perk's taking a poo somewhere.
Any little bits of gold there?
Yes. That's so cool.
Now I take my finger, and I can see it on my finger.
Yes.
Like so.
I came upon this hill and Perk had gotten ahead of me, and I saw this RV, and then I noticed Perk was sitting there drinking a Mountain Dew, and there was a man over there talking to him, and so I kind of walked up and was like, hey, what's going on? Well, apparently Perk helped him change a battery on his trailer. He's got this whole solar panel system rigged up, and he just needed help changing a battery and gave Perk a Mountain Dew as a thank you. And then he gave us a little demonstration, because what he's doing up here is prospecting for gold. He's actually got a couple of claims, and so he was just kind of showing us some pan in action, and I don't know, it was pretty neat. You know, I've heard of people doing it and seen documentaries and things like that, but I've just never really talked to anybody in person who is actually, you know, actively seeking gold and actively showing me gold. So I don't know, it's pretty neat. Oh! That's actually the last water source we have for, I think, 16 miles from there. And that one is about a half a mile off trail. So, and I just decided to tote enough to bypass that water source because apparently there's a cache at Stemple Pass and seems to be pretty reliable. I mean, you can never really rely on them, but I'm full up to max capacity with what I can carry for water. So I'll just, you know, make do until I find the next source. And I've mentioned before how easy it is to kind of get used to having water sources be so frequent. And lately they really have been. So to have a 16 to 20 mile stretch with no water is definitely different. And it's something that you really have to pay attention to and not get too comfortable thinking, oh, there will be water ahead. And just something that you consistently have to, you know, be mindful of. Well, it's been a rather intense morning, and I don't mean intense like camping. Blue skies now, but when I first started packing up this morning, a pretty big dropping of snow happened. Nothing has stuck because it's still getting warm during the day, so as soon as the sun came out, everything just kind of melted away. I had service a bit ago, and it looks like that maybe another time or two today there's a chance of rain, but for the most part I think it should be pretty decent weather today. You know, I've never owned a Shiwi or a pee style, but every time I pee on my shoe I second guess that decision. Bad weather is back, just in time for some ridge walking. Looks like I'll be getting down into the trees again before too long, though. Judging by your uke, I guess you're into rap now. And this here is what they mean by type 2 fun. That is pretty cool. The sun is setting over there and you can kind of see it, and it's just pouring snow here. I think this is one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. Just the clouds and the sun and the snow falling over those mountains. It's like, I'll never forget this moment for my entire life, and I just wish that video did it justice. This is one of those moments where you have to remind yourself when you're recording things like this to look with your eyes and not just through the camera, because so pretty. And it would be appropriate that one of the prettiest skies and sunsets I've seen is at the end of a day where it's been snowing and raining. Gotta have the bads to have the goods. It's another brisk morning on the CDT. There was frost everywhere this morning, and hadn't warmed up yet. It's after 10 a.m. already, but it's just the way it's gonna be till the end, and I have accepted that. And I got a sliver of service the day before yesterday. So I ordered some hot hands and paid for overnight shipping so they will be in Lincoln, because I'm afraid that Lincoln might not have stuff like that. I know it's not a huge town. So anyway, I'm gonna make sure that I go into the Bob Marshall Wilderness prepared for preventing myself from freezing to death. Not that those will necessarily save me, but anyway, it just helps my mindset, and knowing that, you know, once I get in my tent and I have suffered through a cold day, if it ends up rainy and snowy, that I can have, you know, some kind of treat. It helps me keep pushing.
That's like a headlight in the dark.
As I've been hiking this morning, I started kind of thinking about something, especially with seeing that snow falling yesterday evening in front of the sun that was shining. That was absolutely incredible. And it kind of got me thinking, you know, it's interesting that the longer I spend time on a hike and on trail, the things around me that I see are more and more common and familiar, and it's less and less common for me to see something new that I haven't seen before. And yes, on this through hike, you know, I got to see a mountain lion and a grizz and literally, you know, places I have never seen before. They're all new, but the idea and, you know, the terrains and things like that are nothing really that different from the AT and the PCT. You know, those moments and those experiences, you know, being near lightning strike and just all of that gets more and more common, right? So, and it's not that I feel ungrateful, you know, for this opportunity or anything like that, because this is something I have been working so hard for while on trail and off trail to get the Triple Crown. And, you know, I'm so close to the end of it, but it just had me thinking that, you know, people have asked, don't you ever get bored out there? And yeah, sometimes you do. Sometimes you're just like, man, I can't think about anything else. Like, I've thought about everything in my life and, you know, over and over and over again. And like, doesn't that just drive you mad? And like, it can, especially towards the end of a journey like this. You know, I've been at this for 5 months now, just this one trail, but at the Triple Crown since 2015. And so yes, like, I'm tired and I'm sore and I'm hungry and I want to go home and see my dog babies and my family and be in my bed. I talk about how lessons on trail can most of the time be applied to general life lessons, and this is no exception. I mean, when you work so hard at a goal for so long, it can get to a point where you're just like, man, I just want it already, you know? And I think I'm kind of to that point, and I've got about 300 miles left. And I know that this is part of the through hike where it becomes more of a mental challenge than anything else. And I imagine that it's similar to, you know, running a marathon. It's like you get to that point where you're just like, oh, like, I just want to be at the finish line. And, you know, I'm just like, I about don't have anything left in me. And this is that turning point where your mentality really makes the difference. You know, are you gonna be the person that goes, I've got this, and like, I'm not going to let exhaustion or hunger or weather or anything that comes in my way hold me back if I can help it, and I'm going to push hard to the finish line because I know when I get there it's going to be so worth it. I guess I just know that there might be other people who are going through that, not with through hiking, but like with a business. You know, you're starting up a business that you've worked so hard for, and you know, you're staying up late at night with your side hustle and just feel like, you know, gosh, am I ever gonna succeed? And so I don't know, I guess it's just a lesson that I take from the trail onto other things in life, that when you're close to that success, when you're in the third corner of, you know, that track, and that's just when you've got to give it all you got and push hard to the end. And it just comes to a point where you got to decide, Are you gonna be whooped? Or are you gonna do the whooping?